What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my review of the much anticipated first-person shooter Titanfall, but after listening to my take, I want to hear about what you guys think. Leave a comment on how you've been enjoying Titanfall so far. This gameplay is a very efficient game I got during the early grind. I got a lot of pilot kills and Titan kills but only one death. Anytime I heard anything about Titanfall during the last few months, I kept thinking of this Tuco scene from Breaking Bad, but instead of tight, he says hype, hype, hype. Titanfall impressed a lot of people when it was displayed at last E3, but some of the excitement died down a little once Battlefield 4 and COD Ghosts came out. Now that both games have been released, this year has had a very slow big game release schedule, so excitement started brewing for Titanfall. A lot of hype was surrounding the release of Titanfall, to say the least. There were a lot of very popular YouTubers that covered Titanfall during the beta. I played Titanfall very briefly during the beta and didn't walk away too impressed, but I was determined to go into the full release of Titanfall with an open mind and give the game a fighting chance to impress me. At its core, Titanfall is just a first-person shooter running on an enhanced Source engine. Most recent AAA first-person shooters have been set during modern day or in the near future, but Titanfall takes place in a very distant future. The campaign mode gives backstory and context to what's going on in the game and why the factions are fighting, but it's a tacked on last minute effort, as in it's just team deathmatch with bots. It's not worth playing unless you want some multiplayer unlocks. The creators of Titanfall were also the creators of Call of Duty, and they brought with them some of Call of Duty's trademark fast-paced run-and-gun twitch shooting. The guns have little recoil and kill quickly. Player movement speed is extremely fast, but not only are you extremely fast, you're extremely agile. You can run along walls and grip ledges to reach high places. The maps are designed to take advantage of how quickly players can get around. The buildings all have many stories. There is nothing like Battlefield 4, Siege of Shanghai, or Dawnbreaker, but try climbing all the way to the top of those buildings. What's especially satisfying is chaining together several wall runs to cross the entire map. I doubt very many people are going to complain about campers because camping is just not a legitimate tactic in Titanfall. It gives you no advantage whatsoever. The game wouldn't be called Titanfall without Titans, which are pilotable mechs that drop from orbit, and these are clearly inspired by Call of Duty kill streaks. You get your Titan sooner by getting kills and completing objectives. The game is completely different while you're in the Titan. You have more firepower, but you move much slower and you're a larger target. Other players can climb onto your back to try and sabotage your Titan. You can set your Titan to autopilot to guard you or to defend a specific area. The Auto Titan is not nearly as smart as a human Titan, but the advantage to using an Auto Titan is that you can still cover ground quickly as a foot soldier. With infantry and mech gameplay, you have two contrasting playstyles that seamlessly combine into an intense experience. As is standard among most shooters, you can customize your pilot loadout. You can change your active power to be camouflage, wall hacking, or improved speed. You can also have passive character bonuses. There are standard weapon classes that include assault rifles, DMRs, SMGs, shotguns, and sniper rifles. You can choose different optics and other attachments that affect weapon characteristics such as suppressors and extended magazines. You can modify your Titan loadout as well. Your primary weapon can be a chain gun, quad rocket, railgun, and many others. Your active power can be a shield that reflects bullets and sends them back, or a drop shield. You can also choose passive bonuses and secondary weapons. Borrowing another prominent feature from Call of Duty, Titanfall Prestige Mode is called Generations, where you can set your level back to 0 for an additional emblem next to your name. There are only a very few game modes at the moment. There are variations of Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Domination, but what's unique to Titanfall is a game mode called Last Titan Standing, where everyone starts in a Titan. A well-organized team will definitely play better than a collection of randoms, and there's a lot of room for team tactics even in deathmatch. It's very satisfying to alternate attacks to take down enemy titans. I've had no performance issues with the game so far. It's never crashed for me and there have been no game-breaking glitches, but it's stupid to call attention to the game working correctly at launch because a working game should be a default, not a bonus feature, as we've seen in some other EA titles that will not be named in this sentence. Battlefield 4. I've been playing the game enthusiastically. It's been an exciting breath of fresh air considering I haven't played a purely sci-fi game in a while, but even though the game doesn't have any major flaws, it also doesn't excel beyond what other franchises already do. I've been playing the game for more than a week now, and the new game novelty is already wearing off. Receiving a Titan in game doesn't feel special anymore because everyone is pretty much guaranteed a few Titans per game. I play a lot of different franchises, so I've already experienced a lot of things in Titanfall. I have experience with mech combat from Hawken. I played games that have large-scale infantry and vehicle combat over large maps such as Halo and Battlefield. Crysis 3 multiplayer also had fast movement, suit powers, vaulting, and vehicle combat. When all is said and done, everything that is exciting about Titanfall I've done in many other games before. I'm not saying that if a game has a feature from another game, the new game is immediately boring, and I'm not criticizing Titanfall for borrowing elements from other games. It's very difficult for any game to completely change the face of the first-person shooter genre. Most new games borrow elements from existing franchises because you build upon success that's already preordained. It's just that because I do have a lot of experience with a variety of gaming franchises, the gameplay features that are new and exciting for gamers that have only played a few big-name shooters like Call of Duty are not so novel to me. What's definitely helping Titanfall steal the spotlight is its launch window. It's launching separately from big shooter titles like Call of Duty and Battlefield. A lot of people are looking for something to fill the void of there not being very many big titles being launched right now. Especially for Xbox One, I think there will be a push for Titanfall to be a strong esports title. I can see myself sinking more than 50 hours into Titanfall's multiplayer. Titanfall is a solid, strong title, but it is not exemplary. Once the new game allure has worn off, I don't think it's going to steal playtime away from most gamers already in established shooter communities such as Call of Duty and Battlefield. I really want the Titanfall franchise to succeed, and I want a strong Titanfall community to develop. Competition among franchises is always beneficial for any gaming community because it gives everyone more choices. Titanfall shows there is still interest in fast arena-style shooters. No game has influenced the last generation of shooters as much as Call of Duty 4. Titanfall is much more than Call of Duty with mechs, but it is not the next Call of Duty 4. Titanfall does not push the first-person shooter genre forward, but it is a new heavyweight contender in multiplayer gaming. Other FPS franchises had to keep an eye on the sky, or a pilot's Titanfall will drive them into the ground. I give Titanfall a review score of B-. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this review all the way through. Leave a like rating if I was informative, and be sure to leave a comment on how you've been enjoying Titanfall so far. My name is David, and I will see you next video.
Alright, we got what we came for. Awesome work, team. Mission accomplished.
Well done, guys. The IMC are attempting to escape by dropships, but I've marked their extraction points for you. Don't let them get away.